The Bears, No. You know, I was going to start this episode off with a joke about the Bears. About how they've lost 5 straight, or how the Packers have won 100 games over the Bears. Meanwhile, the Bears had a significant lead over the Packers until Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers took over. But considering this year and considering all we've been through, it just doesn't feel right. I think instead, it needs to be a time of giving. And so, this is for you, Bears fans. It's best used in warm water. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, a podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Dropping 40 on the Bears always feels amazing. Grossi, and today we'll be breaking down the Green Bay Packers' victory over the Chicago Bears, 41-25. But before we get to that, I want to do a big shout and thank you to some brand new YouTube members. First, we got Mike Becker, we have Kian Hassan, we have Brandon Pushinsky, we have Navy Sonic, we have Zach Keith, we have Eric Hall, Jacob Brown, Eric Witt, Richard Romero, and Trevor J. A big shout out and thank you to all of you. Now, this was a big game for the Green Bay Packers, obviously coming off a heartbreaking overtime loss to the Indianapolis Colts last week. This was their rebound game, and I thought this was going to be a challenging game as the Bears still had a top 5 defense, regardless of who was going to playing at quarterback, considering their offense has just been god-awful this year. I thought that this was going to be a game, and it was. It was just a very one-sided game. The Packers literally put the pedal to the metal all night and did not let up. Even Aaron Rodgers playing late into the fourth quarter because he was going to get some points. And the Packers made some history tonight. Rodgers reached 50,000 yards overall. Packers had their 100th win over the Bears. Davante Adams had his 500th career catch, which was a touchdown. And Mercedes Lewis had his 400th career catch, which was also a touchdown. Rodgers had a great night, 21 for 29, 211 yards, 4 touchdowns against a defense which is very good. Obviously did not have Akeem Hicks, but they were number 6 in points allowed, and boy, oh boy, Rodgers had no problem carving them up. This was also supported by a great ground game. Jones going 17 for 90, Williams 17 for 73 and a touchdown. Robert Tonyan 5 for 67 and 1 touchdown, and Adams 6 for 61 and 1 touchdown. Continuing on the offense, you had Corey Linsley go out with an injury, went to the blue tent, did not return. However, Jenkins, the most versatile offensive lineman in the NFL at this point, took over for center once again, and there were no problems. The offensive line did not allow a single sack on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had plenty of time to throw basically all night. And over on the defensive side of the ball, as we were kind of bashing Pettin and the defense last week, they stepped up big time tonight. Darnell Savage, 2 interceptions on the night, and also Preston Smith having himself a great night, had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Quiet seasons for both Savage and Preston Smith, and they were able to come alive in a big way. A total of 3 sacks for that defense. Meanwhile, for the Bears offense, Trubisky going 26 for 46, 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Montgomery 11 for 103 and 5 for 40 through the air with 1 touchdown, and Robinson 8 for 74 with 2 touchdowns. This was a great game called by LaFleur. Rodgers praised him multiple times in his press conference, and the Packers just looked like a very confident football team that knew that they were going to kick the Bears' ass, and honestly, that's just what they did. And so looking ahead, the Green Bay Packers are now 8-3, sitting atop the NFC North. They are 2nd in the NFC Conference, only behind the New Orleans Saints. The Bears 5-6, and considering a few weeks ago they were 5-1, they have lost 5 straight. And I will say that this is probably one of the most complete games that the Green Bay Packers have put together all season, and it's against a really good defense. I know the Bears' offense is nothing to write home about, but they still have a really good defense, and they have played now back-to-back good defenses, and they have found success. However, in the Colts game, they only played one really good half of football. This time, they played 60 minutes of really good football, scored 21 points in the second quarter and 14 points in the third, and that was all she wrote. So now the Packers are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles next week. They are completely and totally in control of their destiny when it comes to the division. The Saints have a couple of hard games still left on their schedules, like the Chiefs, for example, and the Packers still have the tiebreaker over them because they defeated them back in week 3. So the Green Bay Packers, with some help, might be able to still take the number 1 spot in the NFC. It is still wide open as you had the Buccaneers and Rams lose today, which definitely helped them. So we will see what the Seahawks and Eagles do tomorrow night. But right now, the Green Bay Packers are in a good position and all is well. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always send me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy. Also, social media see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course, YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. And the YouTube members. I want to do a big shout and thank you to everyone in the Grossi Posse who donated to the St. Jude Fundraiser. We raised over $1,100 for them, auctioning away this Jordy Nelson signed mini helmet, which I will be giving away on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. A big shout out and thank you. If you would like to still donate, you still have one more day to do so. The link will be down in the description. So a big shout out and thank you to you. That goes to an amazing cause. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack, go.